Hello everybody, BrioS here, and for you guys today, I have a very easy high damage output build for you guys, and all this on a rather uncommon chassis. In fact, you don't see this that often, and that's because many more experienced players will rate this particular chassis as rather below average. But first, let me introduce you to the 70-ton clan OmniMech, the NovaCat. The NovaCat variant I am using is the C variant, but with the Omnipods, you could swap it around and basically get the same build on any other variant. In fact, I recommend the Delta variant because 3 out of the 4 Omnipods I am using are from the Delta chassis. So you might as well just buy the Delta variant, that will save you some money. And before I go into this simple to play high damage output build, let's talk about the NovaCat itself as a chassis. So the NovaCat used to be my favorite mech in MechWarrior 4, but this is MechWarrior Online, with human players on the other side. And one thing about the NovaCat, it has pretty bad hitboxes if you ask me. The arms, the side torsos, and even the center torso from the side are easy to pick out. So a good player will focus fire really well on your torsos, allowing them to basically chop off your components rather easily. As a result, it does get quite sizable armor quirks to compensate for it, but against skilled opposition, especially in higher tier games, you gotta be extra careful. And another thing, in this particular build I'm running, I have 2 weapons in the arms, and as you could see, they're really far apart. The height is average, I wouldn't say it's too low, but it's not too high either. So this leads to convergence issues because they are far apart. If you're corner peeking, you can only fire one at a time. And if you go into a hill hump, you're going to expose about the huge upper torsos. See all the chunky boys are above the arms. So hill humping is also a problem. The enemy has a lot of you to target and shoot. That makes this defensively a very weak chassis. So you gotta be aware of that when you play this particular mech. Play a mech to its strengths and know its weaknesses, as I always say. So what exactly are the weapons I am using? This particular build runs my favorite weapon systems, the Heavy Assault Gauss or HAG. And this simple to play build has 2 HAG 40s, 1 per arm. That's it. I use 2 different fire groups because if you fire both together, which I do pretty often, you do generate ghost heat. And it's quite sizable, so that reduces the amount of alphas till you overheat. So to avoid the ghost heat, you fire 1 gauss rifle, and the second one you fire it half a second after the initial launch. So you don't have to wait for all the pellets, you just have to count half a second between the mouse clicks. With this particular build, I have 6 tons of ammunition, which may seem a lot, but if you look at the gameplay, it is actually gonna run up for me pretty fast. So even though I have a TCOM Mark 1 for additional velocity for the gauss, personally after making this video, I will probably remove the TCOM Mark 1 for additional ammunition. So edit this build to your preference. And at 64.8, the NovaCat is a rather slow clan mech, so with slow speed, pretty bad hitboxes, you gotta play this mech rather carefully. And talking about Omnipods, as I said, I'm using a lot of Delta Omnipods, namely the left arm, left torso and the right torso, use the Delta Omnipod. The only Omnipod I'm not using from the Delta variant is the Charlie right arm. All this for quirk and hardpoint reasons. And talking about quirks, if you look at the quirks here, with this combination of Omnipods, as I meant to say, I do get a range of 10%. That's exactly what I find really useful. That allows my HAG 40s to hit out to a range of 1,000 plus meters optimal with skills, allowing you to duel effectively with the long range snipers. But at that range, with the travel time of the pellets, granted they are gauss and they travel fast, it's a challenge to hit the enemy sometimes, especially when they are moving. That's why the ballistic velocity of 10% actually does help. In terms of survivability, it does have pretty bad hitboxes, and as per usual, it does get armor bonuses because of shitty hitboxes. 20 in the side torsos, the CT and the arms helps a bit, but more important is to play your mech carefully. It does get overheat damage reduction 20%, but that's very incidental and honestly makes no difference to the way I play. You shouldn't be overheating too much anyway. So yeah, so let's get down to the skills. For this particular build, I'm running almost full cooldown. 9% reduction in the cooldown allows my gauze to fire faster, hence a very high damage. 80 alpha with 9 nodes, 9% cooldown reduction is quite a sizable amount of damage. Granted, with HAGs, you do spread the damage quite a lot, so you farm damage honestly, but you don't really have the focus fire, so it's really hard to take out your enemy, and you'll see that in the gameplay. Lots of damage, but really hard to take down the enemy, so that's where the teammates come in. I also get maximum range because this is a long range build, 15% additional range, maximum heat gen for 8.4% reduction in heat. If you go on to velocity, 5 nodes for 15% increase in the velocity, combined with the ballistic velocity quirk of 10% and the TCOM, that's about 30% increase in the gauze speed, which is nice because the bullets travel really fast as it is already, allowing you to lay down effective fire at longer ranges, and that's always good. That translates to more damage. I also have 2 nodes of gauze charge, down here, allows you to hold the charge longer. Honestly, more experienced players or better players don't really use this, but for me I find this really useful, so I can hold the charge longer, pre-charge, and wait for the enemy to come around the corner, and then just release and pump them full of damage. Talking about damage, more ammo is useful. As you can see from the gameplay later, I do run out, so yeah, that's one AFI for me. But for most players and most games, I think this particular build as it is good enough. In terms of survivability, 1 less node of skeletal density. Other than that, is full skeletal and full armor hardening. Gives me 18% more armor boost and a 29.7% structure, making this mech okay. It can take damage if the enemy cannot focus fire. And moving on to operations, I've got 5 nodes of cool run that allows me to dissipate heat 10% faster, 3 nodes of hill climb. I always get hill climb if I don't jump. This allows me to navigate terrain faster because everybody, me included, hates getting stuck on the little pebbles on the ground. Onwards to sensor tree, I've got 2 nodes of seismic. Honestly, really useful, so you can see the enemies when they try to sneak up on you. Being a long range build, odds are light mechs of assassins to try to sneak up on you by your rear. So with seismic, prudent viewing of your mini map, you can see the blips and react accordingly. 1 node of radar deprivation for the audio and visual blip if the enemy loses its lock on you. Advanced zoom is really useful because this mech has an optimal range of over 1000 meters, so by zooming in at that range, you can easily hit components better, especially with all the velocity quirks and bonuses. And finally, to round off the skill tree, just 1 node in consumables for additional consumable, which I tend to take a strike and a cool shot. So that's it. This is the HAGCat. HAG 80 points of damage, optimal range of 1000 meters plus, and velocity quirks makes this a really deadly opponent. But defensively, despite the quirks, it's honestly kind of fragile, so play it carefully. So with that being said, and it's also really slow, 64.8 for Clan Mech. So with that being said, let's get down to the gameplay and I'll show you this build, which is really fun to play. I'll show you this guy in action. Let's go! And here we are for the first showcase match, and it's on Canyon Network, one of the most popular maps. This map is honestly pretty easy to play, I guess that's why people vote for it. Low ground is a death trap, so try not to go to low ground, stay high, shoot the enemy, and that's it, simple. So in this particular match, game mode is skirmish. I'm just going to follow the team. All the big boys are rotating to the right as per usual, so it looks as though we're going to cross the bridge at around Echo line. That means I'm going to start firing on Echo 3, moving into Echo 4. So the whole team is murder balling forward. If you look at the minimap, you can see my assaults in Charlie Lance are all in the low ground Echo 3. So the good thing about this build, it has a 1012 meter optimal range, so I can trade across the map through, like against their bull shark earlier, and still do sizable amounts of damage. Shoot and twist, using the chunky arms to soak a bit of damage. I normally use the alpha to fire both together, despite there being ghost heat, like right now, because you can always fall back to cover and cool down, unless you feel the enemy is not paying attention. Oh, that particular shot just hit the ground. I really thought that piece of rocket lesson. So the enemy is moving towards the delta line on my left. Yet again, if you look at the minimap, The assaults in my lance, all three are in the low ground, which honestly irritates me quite a lot because early damage is king, and right now they are not trading. They're slowly NASCARing. Look at the minimap. Look at my turquoise assaults, rotating all the way while I blast this roughneck. My right leg is pretty open, or almost open, so I'm trying to trade, keeping my right leg behind, so the enemy can't really focus on it. Interesting Black Hawk build. Charlie Lance, low ground is a bad idea, you know. We're doing nothing back there. Yeah, getting a bit irritated at the 3 assaults in the rear. A lot of players like to come in last because they can get the kills, but they don't realize that if you come in late with late damage, odds are your team has suffered a lot and they're probably half dead. ATM Hull, Charlie 3, open CT. So if you like the 3 assaults in Echo 4 right now, if the team is not willing to carry away at the beginning, which is what I'm doing now, they'll come in with a severe numbers disadvantage. Oh, this catapult. No, the Viper blocked my shot.
BrioS range close, left hand close.
Yeah, I know, surrounded. Yeah, I'm kind of getting surrounded because the enemy team is pushing Delta line on my
Our
left.
assaults need to be low. Our assaults need to come up.
Even here agrees, our assaults need to come up. Our Charlie Lance is just sitting low ground doing jack shit. Yeah, the assaults are kind of pissing me
Ground,
and here
on
off.
the high ground, otherwise you're just going to die alive. Delta
It's
3 on the
5-1.
purple.
I've pumped out a lot of damage, by the way. Spread my damage a bit, but the sizable hitboxes of HAGCat are a liability. I was actually pulling range, holding Echo 3 a bit, but I'm gonna follow the team a bit. Team is NASCARing forward. What do you call it, NASCAR? Moving up slowly. Finally, the assaults are coming out, like this assault in front of me.
Right.
The heavies in Delta 3 are holding well, but they're getting pushed. But that's fine. It is 6-1. Game is won. I can afford to alpha. But since I'm not being noticed, let's slowly pump damage into this guy. Charlie 4. 64 rounds. Staggering my fire now. Notice the significantly lower heat. Up, I get another kill. 2 kills so far. 32 rounds. With the cooldown skills, yeah, the ammo just disappears really fast. So one wreck bushwhacker. You know, wreck bushwhacker, bushwrecker. Okay, never mind. With that, game is over. It's a storm. 10-2. Enemy tried to push into Delta line, overextended. The rest went onto high ground as our team, our assaults, just held and blasted them to bits. And that's it. Destitute, follow of the onions. Now destitute, death of the onions. And that's it. I ran out of ammo. No ammunition. So I had the sight really long. Took a lot of damage, but I dealt a lot. 970, 5 KMDDs, 2 kills, and a very decent 6-3-1 match score. So let's move on to the next match. So as you can see from the last match, this build does really well at long range, and it really does shoot out a lot of damage, especially at long range. And right now we have Tourmaline Desert, and yet again it's skirmish, and we deploy at Golf 3, which is good because that means I get to go up to Spire for some... Honestly, this is just turret gameplay. Just gonna stand at the top and shoot people, and hopefully don't get pushed by the enemy fast movers. So one Battlemaster, 1200 meters range, outside optimal. Yeah, Echo 5, Delta 5. Battlemaster, Stone Rhino, Roughneck. One thing about sniper gameplay, which is what I'm doing now, Bullshark spotted. To justify being a sniper, you gotta do shitloads of damage. Take a lot of armor off the battlefield. Possibly the enemy also rush in and die. Thank you. But it's hard to focus fire at this range. Not only do you have to control the map, suppress the enemy, take out armor off the battlefield, but you should be making calls because you have a superior view. Look at my view of the battlefield. So use the mic, make simple calls like Bullshark Echo 5, stuff like that. So those lower down have a good idea what's around the corner, and they can plan accordingly. Oh, this was a terrible shot by me, wasting ammunition. But at least I know there's a scale shot.
Are you coming to E6?
I fully expect him.
Yeah, Echo 5, they're there actually. Almost the whole team.
I fully expect the skill shot to try assassinate me. The fact that I'm not taking any return fire or no light or mediums harassing me is a big mistake on the enemy part. If we allow the enemy snipers to do work, then logic dictates they will do work. Which is what I'm doing now. Just shaving armor off the enemy. Another customer. Finally, I take some damage, drew some aggro. Most of my shots have been at 1,200 meters. So I have 1,200 meters, that's about 200 meters outside optimal, 20% less damage. But
Left side, the Echo 5.
I still do a sizable amount of damage.
Stalker, Echo 5, left torso. Left side, guys. Stalker is one shot, Echo 5.
So 0-2, as the enemy team focuses on blasting my teammates in low ground, especially that heavy going through the valley, that marauder. There's a whole bunch of enemy mechs above him. He's slightly to my right in the middle. He's getting blasted by assaults above him. Look at this guy. There he is, my friendly marauder. Yeah, 1v4 situations never favor you. Mr. Marauder, please pull back. Thank you. It's a miracle he's alive. But that's one thing people don't see. They don't see the effect of snipers damaging the enemy, suppressing the enemy, pushing them back. I'm actually running low on ammo, as you can see. 64 rounds. Still no suppressed fire from the enemy, still no assassins
Charlie
to
5,
take me
guys.
out.
Golf, Hellstinger, any side torso.
So as I was saying,
Bullshot coming in, right torso. Echo 5 again.
I'm all alone, but still the skill shot doesn't want to take me out. Big mistake on the enemy's part, because I'm just doing so much damage. Finally a blip on the minimap due to seismic. I knew he was there, I just want to finish my ammo. That's it. I'm out of ammo. Not useless, they're still used for a mech with no ammo like me.
Orion, left torso.
But always have an egress plan, and my plan is to drop down to Fox 5 and try to regroup with my team. If you have no ammo, you can still spot the enemy, draw aggro. That's what I hope to do. And boy am I drawing the aggro of this skill shot. It is a close fight, 6-6. I can get that he really wants...
Scatter shot here. Fox 5.
Coming for you.
He really wants me. But
Focus
this...
on me. Just take him out.
But this losing a lot of armor. His damage could have been better spent elsewhere. It's a close fight. So this basically threw the match.
Oh, that cost him a lot. Okay, refocus Echo 5. Thanks. Don't chase him too much.
Yeah, he's halved. Could have destroyed at least one or two more if you were more tactical, rather than just diving me. So this is me drawing
Scatter frag is
aggro.
open CT. Echo 5.
Causing the enemy to spend heat, weapons on me as those in friendlies in Echo 6 move up. Blood S is still pretty fresh, 73%. I'd rather the enemy shoot me than him. Oh. The inevitable happens. 1,002 damage. I guess I did some decent damage. No kills though. 6-8, now 7-8. Even the herb is pretty fresh. I think we got this. Enemy is a bit caught. Thunderbolt is caught. Cataphract is caught. Our Blood S is kind of fresh. Herbie is kind of fresh. Oh, I wish this guy can aim. Yep. Tide is turning. 9-8. Okay, you didn't kill the guy. Still not dead. Oh, finally.
New target acquired.
And 10-8. We have surrounded the final bunch of people. And interesting close match. 12-8. Nick getting the last 3 kills. So, pretty interesting match. Ultimately a close fight, and 12-8 victory is nice. Better than Storm's. 5 KMDDs, 1200 damage, but no kills. 661 match score. So that's it, ladies and gents, for this video on the HAGCat, the HAGCat. Pretty interesting Nova Cat, pretty fun, very high damage output, kinda lacking in focus fire, but fun is fun, and it helps that it does a lot of damage. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the battlefield. Bye!